Welcome back to my channel. It is time for another Empties video. The month of August is over and I've got some stuff that I went through. I think this might be the lightest empties I've had this year, but I kind of feel like I'm finally getting to the end of all of the things that were like half empty that I started the year with, especially in terms of skincare. So maybe that's also why it feels like it's on the lighter side of the amount of things, which is also kind of crazy because the end of August and I'm just now starting to not have a ton of empties. If you're new here, my name is Caitlin and I'm in the midst of a no-buy-year. Towards the end of 2022, I really started thinking about things and realized that I was spending a lot of money, too much money frankly, on beauty related items, specifically makeup and skincare. So that's why 2023 I've been doing a no-buy-year. I've been doing a lot of shop my stashes, putting together custom eyeshadow palettes, and going through a lot of items and emptying them out. Most of which being skincare, not so much makeup, but I do have a few things that are really, really close to being empties in terms of makeup. So I'm hoping to probably by next month have those in here. Anyways, if that sounds like something that you're into and you want to stick around, then I hope you'll consider subscribing. Let's go ahead and just get started talking about my trash. Like most of my empties, I'm going to try to go through them by categories so that I can put timestamps below for different categories in case you don't want to watch all of it. I get it, empties tend to be on the longer side, but I love watching long form content, so I sometimes feel like I'm in the minority in that, but I feel like a lot of people are making their way back towards long form content. But if you're not one of those, I totally understand. Timestamps will be below for the general categories. I'm going to start with makeup because actually I guess I do have a few empties of makeup, more so than normal. The first being the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. This is in the scent Fire. I had gotten it as a 4-pack. I think it had Earth, Wind, and Fire, but I think there's maybe 4 of them. Maybe it was just 3. I'm just now realizing, did they do that because of the band? Anyways, this is a decent finishing spray, I guess. It doesn't necessarily prolong your makeup, but when I'm using a finishing spray, it's mostly to tone down any look of powder and just sort of like melt everything together. I'm not a huge fan of the Fire scent, not that it matters because I don't think they make it anymore, but it's black pepper and cinnamon. It kind of, like, it didn't feel spicy on my skin, and the scent doesn't like linger or anything, but it wouldn't be my first choice of scent of putting something on my face. I went through this little sample size of the RMS Beauty Re-Evolve Radiance Locking Primer. I really enjoyed this primer, and actually during the break of my no-buy, I actually purchased the full size of this. So I have the full size of this and I've been using and really enjoying it. It feels quite hydrating on the skin, even though I don't think that's like what it's targeted as. It claims to be a gripping primer. I don't think it's as gripping as like the Milk Hydro Grip or the e.l.f. one that I also have been working my way through. I don't think it's as gripping as those, but it does provide a little bit of like grip for your makeup to stick to. And I do find that when I use it, my makeup seems like it's lasting longer than it would have if I hadn't used this. 2 mascaras, the first being this Maybelline, the Colossal Express Cat Eyes Waterproof. It's not necessarily empty, but I feel like I had it open for quite a long time and it had been in my like backups of mascara for who knows how long, so I think it had maybe just kind of like aged out in its packaging before I had even opened it. It's not my favorite mascara, but it gets the job done. Would I repurchase this particular one again? Probably not. The other mascara that again isn't really empty, it has more life in it, but the Thrive Cosmetics mascara, it's a tubing mascara. I honestly don't know why I got it in the first place. any mascara that I use needs to be waterproof in order to hold a curl on my eyelashes. So I don't know what possessed me to get this anyways, because if I'm using a mascara that isn't waterproof, I have to be using it as like a topping mascara. Like I have to go in with a waterproof first before I go in with a second one. And that kind of defeats the purpose of using a tubing mascara in the first place. So wasn't really thinking. And it honestly kind of burns my eyes. So that's a big no for me. I went through a Patrick Ta brow lamination gel. This is my favorite brow holding product. It holds in such a way that it feels a bit crispy, but not crispy in a bad way. It's the best holding brow gel that I've ever used. I like to get the mini sizes of them. The first one that I ever had was the full size. It was before they came out with the mini. And before you're even done with the product, it starts to get that white gloopiness, like when you pull the brush out of the tube. And I feel like it's half the product that then isn't usable. But I like the mini sizes because I feel like I can actually use it up before it starts doing that thing. So I really enjoy this. This is like my who knows how many that I've gone through, and I do have a backup of it that I repurchased, so that's what I'm currently using. Another brow gel product, the Refi, what's the actual name of it? I don't know. It just says Refi on the tube. So I know they have a couple brow products. This is the one that is like white on the brush. Again, this isn't like fully empty. It just isn't really working like I feel like it used to work. And I've come to the like realization that in terms of makeup products, I'm not going to force myself to use something that doesn't work as effectively as I would want it to. Brow products especially, because I feel like I want my brows to look a certain way, and if I'm using a product that doesn't achieve that look, then I don't feel my best in my makeup, and I don't want to do that. So although this isn't completely empty, I'm tossing it. It's been open for quite a while anyways. It has some amount of hold, but I feel like if I like brush it, my brows will go out of place. And it also tends to leave a lot of like white residue in my eyebrows, or at least like visible residue in my eyebrows, and I'm not about that, so I would not purchase this again. Alright, that's it for makeup. Moving on to body care. I have this little travel size of the Hemp's Original Herbal Body Moisturizer. I really like this. It's lightweight. I mostly just use it as hand cream, essentially, because I really don't like the feeling of lotion and putting lotion on. I feel like I've talked about this tons of times, which actually kind of really sucks right now because I have a pretty bad sunburn on my arms and back because I wasn't as diligent as reapplying sunscreen as I should have been, and I'm regretting it because it's so painful that honestly it hurts to be wearing a shirt right now. And I sleep on my back and my side, and like I woke up multiple times last night because I couldn't stay asleep because it hurt so bad. So I've been having to like kind of lather myself in lotion anyways, and I just like hate that feeling. But anyways, this is great for a hand cream. I have had the full size before, I believe at least one of them, but I would buy this again as a hand cream. I don't need any lotion right now, so I don't need to buy any right now, but this is good. Alright, another body lotion is this little travel size of the Lord Jones high CBD formula. I haven't actually looked at the ingredients list, but it says it contains approximately 10 milligrams of CBD. I don't know if that's true. It was okay. It kind of had a weird smell, and I don't know if that's because of the CBD or because it had been so old by the time I got around to using it. Would I buy the full size of this? No. This, it's technically a like skincare, but I used it as a body lotion. The Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. I used it as a body lotion because I had the full size of it in the past, and whenever I used it on my face, I would break out. For some reason, I remember seeing that maybe the Magic Cream has sunscreen in it, and Charlotte Tilbury products tend to be octinoxate, which I break out from, which could be why I broke out from the Magic Cream. But I just used this as a body lotion, and actually by the time I had opened this, it had gone like super dried out and it kind of turned into a gel and not a cream. I think that just means it was like hella old. But no, I would not ever buy the full size of this again. Alright, on to just skincare in general. A cleansing packet, the Good Molecules Rose Water Daily Cleansing Gel. I've had the full size of this before. I've gone through little packets of it before. It's an okay cleanser. Usually by the time I get to the end of the bottle, the texture of it annoys me. So would I ever buy the full size of this again? Probably not, but it's okay. And a makeup removing cleansing balm. I found that I had this little Pharmacy Green Clean cleansing balm, which I'm kind of glad that I was able to try it, because up until now my favorite cleansing balm has been the Good Molecules one. I've talked about this numerous times, probably in every Empties video, but they reformulated it and I don't find it's as effective as it once was. I don't know that this will be becoming a replacement for that. I think it was a little bit more effective at removing my waterproof mascara than the Good Molecules one has been, but I think I want to venture into trying other ones and actually maybe going back to cleansing oils. In the past I had used I think like the Garnier cleansing oil, and I loved it, and they had discontinued it. I feel like I've seen Garnier have a cleansing oil recently. I don't know if it's the same as the one that I used years ago. There's a cleansing oil that I saw at Ulta that I think I want to try after I finish everything that I have. I can't remember the brand. I think it's like a K-Beauty brand, but it seems to have really good reviews, and especially at removing waterproof mascara. So I might be trying that one before I would ever think about buying the full size of this, but this was okay. A face mask, the Pharmacy Honey Potion Plus. I don't know that it was my favorite. When I used it, I feel like it left kind of a film on my face, and it kind of just made me feel like I needed to wash my face again. I don't think that I would ever buy the full size of this if I wasn't like completely in love with this sample size, so no. An eye cream, this Derma E Hydrating Eye Cream, hyaluronic acid and green tea. It was okay. I feel like I've used more hydrating eye creams before, but this was pretty decent, and I think it's like pretty cheap in terms of skincare and eye creams. So I would consider purchasing this again if I don't find one that I absolutely love. I feel like eye creams, I'm like picky about it, but also not too picky in terms of like the brand. Like I'm willing to try almost everything. Mostly what I'm looking for in an eye cream is to be like heavy duty enough that I can like feel it hydrating my under eyes, if that makes any sense. This did an okay job at doing that. Would I buy it again? Maybe. I finished another Paula's Choice, the 2% BHA liquid exfoliant. It's the salicylic acid one. I feel like once I incorporated this back into my skincare routine, it's my like hormonal acne has been better, and because it was empty, I did repurchase another one. Last few things, I finished this COSRX, the Propolis Light Ampule. I'm not exactly sure like what it's meant to do. Maybe it's supposed to be hydrating. When I got this, I sort of got the whole Propolis like set where it had the like essence thing, this, and then the moisturizer. So maybe as a like system, it's supposed to do something, but using this on its own, I guess it just provided a step of like wetness to my skin. So like maybe hydration. Would I buy it again? Probably not. This little sample size of the Kiehl's Vital Skin Strengthening Super Serum. It was fine. It was an okay serum. I feel like I've talked about this before in terms of skincare samples. The amount of product that's in a sample isn't ever going to provide you with enough uses, because you should be using it for like 2 to 4 to 6 weeks before you start seeing results from a skincare item. The amount of product that you get in a sample generally isn't going to give you that. So I can't speak to its efficacy in terms of skin strengthening, but it was okay. Would I buy the full size of it? Probably not. All right, this little packet of the Peach and Lily Power Cocktail Lactic Acid Repair Serum. It was okay. I feel like I don't know how much my skin likes lactic acid. I don't know that I've used it enough in the past to like get an idea of it. My skin tends to like the salicylic acid and glycolic acid. Would I ever buy the full size of this? Probably not. If I like down the road feel like I have a concern and like think that this would solve it, maybe. Okay, the Summer Fridays CC Me Serum Brighten. It was kind of brightening on the skin, I guess. Would I ever buy the full size of it? Probably not. I would have to read more on like what it claims to be, but it was fine. The Belief Aqua Bomb Brightening Vitamin C Cream. It was fine, I guess. I think for the most part, I want my moisturizer to be just a moisturizer. Like, I like the Phytosurgence moisturizer and it has other stuff in it, but like in terms of vitamin C, from what I understand, vitamin C is fairly unstable. Having it in a moisturizer doesn't seem like it's providing the stability that it needs to remain effective, especially in terms of vitamin C. If I want, like, I think I would want to keep that as its own separate thing, in which case I wouldn't have a need for this. All right, the La Roche-Posay Toleriane Double Repair Face Moisturizer. I feel like I've used this in the past and it's fine. It's a pretty basic moisturizer. I tend to like La Roche-Posay products anyways. Would I ever buy the full size of this? Maybe. I think that there's other like pretty basic moisturizers that I prefer, like the Phytosurgence one. So, meh. All right, last product, the Inkey List Rosehip Oil. This is the second one of the Inkey List one that I've been through, and I've used multiple from like Good Molecules before in the past. I tend to like rosehip oil as an ingredient. Because it's summer right now leading into fall, I've been using less oils on my face and sticking with more like hydrating serum type things. I have not repurchased this yet. When it gets closer to winter, I probably would go back to using this in my routine. I'll see how the next couple weeks go in terms of my skin and like what else I've been using in my skincare routine and see how it's doing. And if I feel like I'm missing this specifically, then I'll look around. Would I buy the Inkey List one? Probably. I don't know. I might do more like research in terms of what brands maybe have the best rosehip oil. I don't know if it's an ingredient that like some brands tend to have a better quality of it or whatever. I haven't looked that far into it, so we'll see. Okay, those are all of my empty products from the month of August. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I do feel like as I was talking through, there were less than there seemed to be in July. Maybe in like June and July, maybe I've had more hair products that seemed like it took up like more space in this actual basket that I use. Let me know in the comments what kind of products you're using up. I like reading about people's trash, I guess. Empties videos are one of my favorites to watch because I feel like the person can really give a good like final review of a product once it's completely gone. That's all I've got. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.